Hey guys, good to see you again. As you can tell, it's a little bit cold outside. I've got my little hat on, got my jacket on. I'm fixing to take a ride. The weather here is pretty schizophrenic this time of year. You know, we usually, here in South Mississippi, we usually go from summer straight into winter, what we would call a winter. Of course, you guys up north, you snowbirds would call this spring or fall, but it's about 11:30 right now in the morning, and it's in the 50s. So, and it's really not going to get any better than this. But other than that, I posted in my community, as some of you have seen, about the email I got from the Harley Davidson dealership in Slidell, Louisiana, asking me if I would be interested in participating in a survey on the new 2020 motorcycles. So basically what this survey consists of is riding any motorcycle of my choice that they have on the floor and giving my honest opinion. I gave it a lot of thought, and you guys pretty much know my speed. You guys pretty much know what my taste in motorcycles is. But I figured, well, enough of my rambling, because I got to get on the road. I'm supposed to see them at about 12:30. So let's get on the road first, and I'll explain some more. Okay, as I was saying, now why do I want to go and do that? Why do I want to go and try out, you know, the newest and greatest bee's knees of the most latest and greatest Harley Davidson lineup? You guys know my speed, you guys know my style, you guys know what I prefer. But I got to thinking about it this way. Let's say I look at a pepperoni pizza and I don't like pepperoni pizzas, and I never tried it. And the reason I don't like the pepperoni pizza is because I don't think a pizza ought to be made that way. Therefore, I don't like it. Well, that's just looking at it from the sidelines. You know, I haven't tried it. So, why only have an opinion that's only formed from the outside looking in, you know? And you have absolutely no experience, no kind of encounter with such a thing that you have an opinion about. Now, the Harley shop is not paying me to do this. Harley Davidson isn't sponsoring this channel. I'm not doing this for that. I'm really just doing this to satisfy my curiosity, and maybe it'll satisfy your curiosity too about these bikes. I mean, I have absolutely no intention on buying a brand new motorcycle, okay? So that's not going to happen today. But anyway, I wonder what kind of motorcycle to ride. Many of you in the community said try the Lowrider S, which I did already think of doing that. Some are interested in the Fat Bob, or the Street Bob, I'm sorry. And others said try the Heritage. And that's actually what I was thinking about doing the most, because, you know, I've owned a 103 Heritage Softail twin cam. Now I've got a 94 EVO Heritage Softail. So what does an M8 Heritage Softail feel like? Or how does the Lowrider S handle? You know, things like that. They did say I could try more than one motorcycle, and when I talked to them, at least the salesman that I talked to, Zach, he told me that. Any motorcycle on the floor, he said. But I'm going to test him about that, because there's some motorcycles on that floor that, well, you'll see what I'm talking about when I get there. Okay, after much looking around, I found the guy, but he's kind of camera shy, so I'm not going to point the camera at him because he can't dig it too much. So I guess what we're going to try just to see what this M8 is all about, you know, in the new frame and the suspension and all of that. You know, he did say any motorcycle on the floor. I tried to hold him to it because they got a knucklehead in there on display, but I couldn't get away with that. Just for convenience sake, this one right here is it's a 19 Heritage Softail. So we're just gonna get this thing out onto the road. I'm gonna see what it's all about. You guys who have these things already know what I might experience. That's enough talking. So we're just gonna get on this thing right here and check it out, all right? Okay, let's see what all the hype is about. It's a 114 cubic inch M8 motor. I have no idea how these things handle. All I know is EVOs and twin cams. And let's see what all this is all about. How do you turn this thing on?
It's all off the key fob, man.
Okay, this is definitely a piece of technology I'm really unfamiliar with.
We'll shoot up the road that way.
All right. Oh my goodness. This thing has the capability of going to ludicrous speed. I'm going to tell you right now, how I said that my EVO is not a 103, well, I'll tell you what, this 114 ain't no 103 either. I'm only doing 70 miles an hour, and I can feel in this motor that it has a heck of a lot more pull to go. I mean, if I want to open this thing up, it will definitely do Mach 1 or something like that. We don't want to get in trouble, but I so badly want to open this thing up to see how fast it'll go. I wonder if Zach will get mad if I pass him. Now we're doing 90 miles an hour, and that was scary, and it didn't feel like 90 miles an hour. It felt like I'm doing 60. I'm gonna get myself in trouble if I ever own one of these things. Hey man, I ain't got no business owning a motor like this. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I'm the one that's got the problem. Okay guys, Zach says that this bike right here is absolutely nothing like that Heritage that we were just riding. So it's a whole nother animal, and I'm really can't wait to get on this thing and try it out and see how obnoxious it is compared to that 114 right there. It's same motors, right? That's a 114 as well?
Yep.
Okay. This actually is more my style, you know. I kind of dig the forward controls and stuff like that. So enough of my rambling. Let's just get on this thing and see what it'll do. Got the same drivetrain as that Heritage, but it feels like a much lighter bike. The thing feels like a Sportster on steroids. Oh man, this thing makes me feel like I'm on a fighter jet. Holy crap. 80 miles an hour. If it weren't for all the wind noise, I would think I was only doing 50. These things are a beast. Harley Davidson Milwaukee 8 motor is definitely a force to be reckoned with as far as performance. It just wants to be opened up and roar. Whoever buys this motorcycle is going to be really happy with it. You know, I'm going to be honest, I kind of almost wish that I did not have the mechanical ability to keep my motorcycle alive, because if I didn't, I would be wanting to buy one of these things. It feels like I can ride this thing to California and back 5 times over. I mean, it does what you want it to do. I'm going into a headwind and it doesn't even care. Yeah, I think my opinion has changed. Not changed. I'm still pretty satisfied with the motorcycle I have. But as far as what I think about these bikes, I think they're great motorcycles for what they are. It's not like an old Harley. The vibration is pretty much gone out of this thing. I thought my twin cam that was on the Heritage that I used to own was nice and smooth. This thing is just, I mean, it's amazing what it will do. Well, that was an experience. I'm kind of glad glad I got to go do that. I'm glad those guys invited me to come over and try out their new motorcycles. So my thoughts on the M8 motor and the new Lowrider S and basically the whole rolling chassis with the monoshock and the M8. I'll have to say those motorcycles are a force to be reckoned with. I know I already said that, but I was impressed. I really was impressed. It was definitely a lot more than I was expecting as far as performance and how well those motorcycles handled. I mean, I could not believe how well engineered those motorcycles are. You know, I had a lot of negative things to say about them when those bikes first came out. Like Harley lost their way, and you know, they abandoned the consumer and the people who were loyal to them all these years. But you got to give them credit as a corporation. You know, if you're going to stay alive and you're going to stay in business for 100 years, like they have already, over 100 years, I mean, you're going to have to appeal to the consumer. So, I mean, think about it. Camaros don't look the same anymore, and neither do Mustangs, and they're not built the same either. Now, I'm not trying to sing Harley's praises, and they're not paying me to say all this. And the dealership didn't give me a kickback to come over and do this. I just did this for my own curiosity. But I will tell you this, that if you go purchase one of those things, I promise you will get what you pay for. And if you're in the area, you know, within a 100-mile radius, 200 miles maybe, feel free to check out Mike Bruno's Northshore Harley Davidson in Slidell, Louisiana. You know, they are good people. They don't breathe down your neck. They don't look at you like a dollar sign. They actually try to work with you. They didn't pay me to say that, by the way. I know that from experience. That's that. I thank you guys for watching. And if you like what you've seen so far, if you're new, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And perhaps share it on another forum. And go check out some of my other videos. If you really like what you see, or maybe if this video was enough already, feel free to subscribe for more videos coming up. Again, like I always say, I have no idea what I'm going to film next, but I will try to keep it interesting. So you guys keep the rubber side down, and you be good to yourselves. And thanks a lot.